Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
Hold up, try that again. Try that again, because we just got audio on the stream.
We just got. It's starting right now.
Yeah, well, we started, but now we got audio.
Oh, okay. So, what's up, nerds? Welcome to another episode of the Multiverse Report. Tonight we're recapping the week's story news from Yahucha Prime to Madripoor and everywhere in between. My name is Mike Gibson. With me is always Steve Haller. What's up, Steve?
Oh, another day in paradise. You and I somehow watched a really awesome movie by complete accident, for lack of a better description. Well,
it wasn't an accident for me to watch it.
Both of us watched it was definitively an accident.
Yeah, about 20 minutes behind.
Yes.
You were about 20 minutes behind me. Yeah.
Hey, I just happened to have a free Saturday night, and it worked out well.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I'm glad that the first 10 minutes of the movie was so impressive that I texted you immediately to tell you, you should be watching this.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll find out what movie we're talking about later in the show. We also got some Star Wars stuff to talk about. We're going to go over some non-story, but, worth mentioning Superman Fantastic Four hype, as I'm sure we'll be doing every week
Literally every week from
those
now
movies come out.
Which Fantastic Four tickets are on sale now.
That is true.
I did not realize that.
Is true.
That seems like that flew under the radar more than it probably should have.
It's true. We'll be talking about that actually in a second. We got two stories we added because we're supposed to do our normal Sunday show. And we were about to do it, like very close to doing it. We had both signed on. We had said hello to each other. And then I looked into the sink in my basement and noticed that it had been backed up.
Right.
With sewage. Gross. So I was like, sorry, Steve, not happening tonight. I got to take care of this problem. So thank you to Steve and everyone that was hoping they'd get a Sunday show. You didn't. You're getting a Monday one. So many Monday shows lately.
I was going to say, we're turning into a Monday night podcast. So
I know. Maybe that's just better. I don't know. And a couple trailers we're going to talk about tonight and, our movie thoughts and comic stuff, of course. But first of all, podcast is brought to you by Funky Town Comics and Vinyl, Camillus, New York. Check them on out. They got all the good comics there. And they got some bad ones too, but most of them are good. They just got all the comics. Good and bad. They don't discriminate. You want to buy a shitty issue of Batman, they'll sell it to you. They're not going to say no.
You want to buy an Engelbert Humperdinck vinyl? Feel free. I'm not one to judge, but they've probably got it.
They got it. No, of course. You
also, why did I try to say Engelbert Humperdinck on air?
I thought you did a great job. You crushed it.
I got at least 3/4 of the name out, so we're good.
So yes, as we mentioned, Superman and Fantastic Four hype is rolling. I'm just seeing less hype across the board for Jurassic Park Rebirth, and I think
by less hype you mean no hype?
None, because I know that's so wild that
yeah,
no one cares about that movie. I feel like
there is a summer blockbuster coming out with Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali tied to this.
Yeah,
and
zero
and
people
are
dinosaurs.
talking to it.
Yeah,
it's insane to think about this.
Yeah, it's insane. Okay, I know there's fans of the Jurassic Park franchise. In my personal opinion, there is one good Jurassic Park movie.
Yep.
It's called Jurassic Park. And the other ones are not good.
Right. There are a couple serviceable ones. Like I can sit through 3. I can sit through
3. Yeah. If I had to pick another one to watch, it would be 3.
Right. And I can sit through the first Jurassic World to a point.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are real hot garbage.
Yeah. It's just crazy. What's crazy? It's crazy that no one else makes movies about dinosaurs. Is everyone else just scared to make a movie about dinosaurs? Because
maybe
dinosaurs are the coolest thing in the world, right? giant lizards used to live where we live.
Birds, please.
And giant birds and giant lizard things used to live where we live.
Right.
Like this, right where we are right now. There used to be giant lizard birds. And we only know about them because we found their dead bones in the ground. Like that itself is super cool. We found bones of giant creatures and learned about them. How every movie should have dinosaurs in them. Every story should have dinosaurs. That's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. But
So
alas, apparently they can make one good movie about dinosaurs.
yeah,
And
how is
also
there only
one
one?
good-
That's what I'm saying. How is
one
there
good
only one
TV
good
show
movie
about
about
dinosaurs, too.
dinosaurs? What's that?
One good TV show about dinosaurs too. Literally dinosaurs.
Oh, dinosaurs. does that count as good? Does that
I
count
mean,
as good?
Growing up in the 90s, it sure seemed great.
In the 90s, it seemed great. I can't imagine watching that show now and thinking that it's funny. I can't imagine
Actually,
that show being
Brian
funny.
in the chat just brought it up too. Brian, have you watched it recently and does it hold up? Because
There's
cannot
no
imagine
way.
it does.
I'm sorry. There's no chance that show holds up. There's no chance. No chance.
Oh, God. That's great.
It's crazy to me that there's one good movie about dinosaurs. What's the second? Land Before Time? Is that the second
might
best
be
movie
the-
about dinosaurs?
It may actually be.
How
I-
crazy is that?
Wow. Now I'm going down a rabbit hole here, people.
That's crazy. That's just crazy to me. Somebody should defy Universal and Jurassic Park and make a dinosaur movie.
Oh, Disney's movie Dinosaur, which actually was better than credit
Oh,
was
was
given
it?
for it.
I've heard it's pretty bad, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
It's probably not great by most standards, but it was as a
Okay.
kids movie, it was what it was.
Yeah.
Not going out of my
I
way
guess-
for it, but
I guess now that I'm talking about it out loud, I guess the hard part about making a dinosaur movie is you either have to make the dinosaurs able to speak to each other like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Or you need to somehow have humans magically teleport back in time to dinosaur times, or have dinosaurs magically show up in the future like they do in Jurassic Park through science, not magic. But you know what I mean? I guess that's probably the holdup of making a dinosaur movie, because everybody knows that cavemen didn't live at the same time as dinosaurs, so you can't just make a caveman versus dinosaur movie. Maybe
we,
good.
we did also have Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost. True.
I did not see.
Anyway.
Brian Rollins also brings up The Good Dinosaur, which I did not see, but heard was quite the
I have
tear-jerking
also
child
heard-
movie.
I've also tear jerking. Oh, I've also heard that is bad, but I've also never. That's like the only Pixar movie I've never seen. I should probably watch that
Same.
just to see. Anyway,
Oh, you know
enough
what?
talking about
Encino Man.
what
There's no dinosaurs
not
in
about
it.
dinosaurs, though.
I know.
Yeah.
But I just had to get a Pauly Shore reference in.
Okay.
For no reason.
What if you
whatsoever.
had a mandate to make a Pauly Shore reference in every episode of the Multiverse Report?
We'd get some deep cuts. The son-in-laws and In the Army Nows. And
Yep. Biodome. Guys, are you loving Steve's new camera, by the way? For those of you that are watching, Steve, when you threw your head back and laughed, the camera zoomed in on you and then went and then came back out when you picked your head back up. It's wild. Oh, it did a
God.
little bit.
There we go.
Steve's got a new camera set up. It's very fancy. Very fancy. Anyway, what are we talking about? Oh, yeah, Superman and Fantastic Four. We got a bunch of character posters last week for Superman. They were kind of released in chunks, like heroes, like metahuman heroes with powers, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Superman, obviously. Then we got a chunk of like villains or anti-heroes, Lex and the engineer. My brain just shorted out for a second there. And that ilk, we got a group of members of like the Daily Planet staff, like just a bunch of character posters. We also got the official poster Fantastic Four. Steve, have you seen the official Fantastic Four poster?
No.
Because I think it looks awful. I think it's a terrible design, and I can't believe that that's the official poster for the film when I saw it. I think it's really bad looking. That's just
The
me.
one with them on the couches and Herbie?
No, it's like they're like Mr. Fantastic's kind. It's all a light blue. Mr. Fantastic's kind of walking towards the screen, and the others are kind of like behind him. It's just a very unimpressive poster.
Hmm.
I don't know if you'd be able to find
I'm
it.
not finding that anywhere.
Okay. I definitely saw it in a number of places, but it just seems like if they're doing like a retro thing, they could get like a retro artist to make a poster.
Oh,
Like, I don't know.
There's a couple that I'm seeing from the Nerdist earlier this week that
Oh, really?
are like legit retro solid. Here, let's use our screen sharing thing that I pulled up or figured out. Let's see if it works. Hey, it does. Oh, never mind. Mike still can't see it.
I can't see it.
So disregard that. But for
But the
those of you
people
who can see
people
it,
watching at home can see it.
you know, there's a couple of decent options in there.
Why is it so hard for me to find the one that I saw a million times on social media this week? Oh, this is oh yeah, it's the one on their Wikipedia page. If I can chat it to you easily.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's in horrible resolution on that, but yeah. So
Yeah.
it's you can see it on the screen share at this point.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that poster. I think it looks really dumb. It doesn't look exciting.
No, that one does nothing for me. There's a couple others that I just saw. If you check up Nerdist social media posts, is where I found it.
Cool.
That it was actually like there were a couple of like solid retro looks and
Nice.
kind of that
Well, that's
design,
good at least.
which
Somebody's
hopefully
doing
those are the
something.
ones we see on the theater wall and not whatever the hell that thing was.
Because that is like, just I don't know. You know, we're all talking about how the trailers haven't really been exciting. Like that poster is right in line with the trailers for me. Like, okay.
Yeah.
We also got the official runtime of Superman. Superman is officially 2 hours and 9 minutes long.
Okay. So not short, but not long.
Yeah. Somebody asked James Gunn if it was
like if you'd have told me 10 years ago a 2 hour and 10-minute movie wasn't long, I would have probably thought you were crazy.
Yeah, especially we're so like, I feel like every superhero movie that comes out, we're like, oh, it's got to be at least 2.5 hours minimal, right? Kind of refreshing if they can get it done in 2 hours and 9 minutes. Great. There were rumors that Warner Brothers was forcing James Gunn to cut the movie down, that it was originally a lot longer. James Gunn, whether it's true or not, James Gunn said on social media that's not true.
Right.
Said that he only answers to David Zaslav, and nobody else at Warner Brothers has the authority to even tell him to cut his movie down if he doesn't want it. He says it's that long because that's the length it's going to be.
I mean, that's also kind of great that we have confirmation that he answers to no one.
Yeah, he answers to the CEO, and that's it. Yeah.
Well, and who knows if he'll be the CEO of the company that he ends up working
He will
for
be.
soon.
He will be. We'll talk about that in a second too. Yes. We also got popcorn buckets revealed for both movies this week. One's a big giant Galactus head for Fantastic Four. I saw a couple different ones for Superman. One is cool. One is like a popcorn machine that you'd see at like a bar or something.
Yeah.
And Superman is on the outside of it using his heat vision to pop the popcorn that is in your popcorn machine. That is a popcorn bucket. Like it's a cool thing. And as Steve mentioned earlier, tickets are already on sale for Fantastic Four. Apparently, Fandango has reported that it has sold more advanced sale tickets than any other movie this year. I'm not sure what other movie would possibly come close to that necessarily. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what other movie was a big enough movie to sell advanced sale tickets that would knock Fantastic Four off. And Superman tickets haven't gone on sale yet. Superman tickets go on sale June 11th. But tomorrow, in select theaters, we talked about this a few weeks ago. If you are an Amazon Prime member, you might be able to buy tickets to an advanced screening of Superman a few days before the premiere. And that's happening tomorrow evening, I think. Those tickets go on sale. I don't know if our theaters around here are going to participate in that or whatever, but
Right.
Tickets go on sale to the public on June 11th, so just a couple days. And so we'll see. I'm sure there's a lot of hype for. I know there's a lot of hype for both those movies. So, a story that we added because we were supposed to do last night.
Oh, did you
and
see?
we
Sorry, on the popcorn bucket thing, did you see? There's a Herbie one too
I did see there's a Herbie one as well.
that
Yeah.
apparently has a place for a popcorn and a large drink and some other concessions. So that
Oh,
thing's
wow,
got to be
that's
like
cool.
this freaking big.
It's got to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to just sit with that on your lap for 2 hours or whatever? That's a long time.
It's your own robot assistant.
Popcorn buckets never used to be a thing, right? That's just new,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's a new thing.
Yep.
It's the first one I remember being a thing was the Dune worm that looked like a fleshlight.
Oh yeah.
And then ever since then, I feel like every big movie's got to have a stylized popcorn bucket. Was it a thing before the Dune fleshlight worm?
I mean, I think it may have been like the collector's buckets might have been a thing, but
Okay.
I don't know if they were this elaborate. I
I
think it was
never
more
remember.
like a bucket with like the design,
Sure.
or you'd see like the hologram
Yeah, yeah.
buckets or stuff like that.
Okay.
You definitely, I'm with you. I don't think it's nearly been what it is now.
Yeah, it's a relatively new, elaborate thing, I think. But anyway, Steve mentioned this earlier or alluded to it, a story that dropped today that Warner Brothers is officially splitting into two companies. And this has been rumored for quite some time because ever since David Zaslav took it over and it merged with Discovery, sorry, it's technically Warner Brothers Discovery. He brought all of his trash reality shows and stations to it. And it was kind of a big mess, I guess. The merger was a mess. And so now they're splitting into two parts. There's going to be one part led by David Zaslav, still be streaming and studios. Will consist of Warner Brothers Television, Warner Brothers Motion Pictures, DC Studios, HBO and HBO Max, and all of their legend, like their legendary film and television library that Warner Brothers has.
Never.
The other one will be focused on global networks, is what they're calling it. And that's like brands and television stations that are owned by Warner Brothers, including like CNN, TNT, Sports, Discovery, all that kind of stuff. So Zaslav's going to stay in charge of the streaming and studios section or part, and somebody else is going to run the other part. So unfortunately, we're not getting rid of David Zaslav in the Warner Brothers film arena. However, maybe the company can be more profitable and be less of a mess if they're not dealing with so much stuff. They can kind of split up the duties here and there. So
yeah,
we'll see. As long as they don't cancel my precious DC stuff that I want to see. And speaking of DC stuff that I want to see, we got a Marvel trailer this week or today. It's a very clunky segue, but making it work. Ironheart. We got a second trailer for Ironheart. This is a 6-episode series that was announced by Marvel 5 years ago, and it's coming out on Disney Plus this month, June 24th. It's a pretty good trailer. I think this show looks really good. I think it's shot really well. I think the effects look really well. And you know what? It goddamn better look really good because they've been working on it for 5 years.
Yeah.
So that's plenty of time to make a 6-episode thing look really good. Hopefully it is really good. Steve, I don't know how you felt about this trailer, but this trailer, in conjunction with what I remember about the first trailer, seems like there is a lot going on for only 6 episodes.
I would agree. It very much, even in this one, you had the MIT of it all. You had her traveling back to Chicago. You had the Hood. You had Alden Ehrenreich's character. You had
Han Solo.
There's a lot of things happening. Yeah, Han Solo's in Marvel now. But
he's probably just playing Han Solo.
Right. Yeah, that's all he does now. Just like Harrison Ford, where most of his characters are Han Solo.
Yeah. yeah.
Han Solo as an archaeologist. Han Solo as
a
CIA agent.
Han Solo as the president.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Shrinking might be the first
Yeah.
Han
Han
Solo is
as
a
a therapist.
psychotherapist.
Yeah.
Uh,
Grizzled old therapist. Did you hear who's joining the cast of Shrinking season
No.
3? Michael J. Fox.
I like ancillarily heard that, and I was like, oh, I definitely misheard that. So
Isn't
that
that
was
cool?
legitimate. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's his
so
first
cool.
role in like years, right?
A long time. I mean, he was on Mark Maron's podcast
Yeah.
a couple years ago, and he talked about how he realized at one point he was doing like a guest on like a show, and he just couldn't like say the lines in the way that he wanted to because he didn't have like
Yeah.
as much control, and so he just went back to his trailer and he's like, well, can't do this anymore, you know. And he was making a joke out of it, and so I thought, based on that interview, I assumed that he was completely done, but he's back.
Apparently
It
not.
feels like he can do it. So don't know how big of a role it is, but I'll take Michael J. Fox in anything. I love that guy.
Oh yeah.
Any other thoughts on the Ironheart trailer too?
I don't know. This trailer didn't do a hell of a lot more for me. It didn't do less for me, but it was like, okay, this looks like the same show we saw a very different trailer for like 2 weeks ago.
It does seem like a very different trailer.
Yeah.
And that's, I guess, why I think that it makes it feel like there's a lot going on.
Right.
But who knows? Who knows? I'm hoping that what I really don't want, and this kind of flashes back to my my small gripe with Daredevil Born Again about how he's barely wearing his suit. Like, we've literally seen her build this suit, this Ironheart suit, in Wakanda Forever. Like, we have seen her do that. We know that she knows how to do it. We know that a suit exists. If this is a show where she doesn't show up in the suit till episode 5 or 6, I'm gonna be furious. Like, you've already done it. Do it again.
We know you
Put
can
it
do
on.
this. You got this.
Yeah. Wear it.
Pull it together.
Now.
Come on.
Yeah. So we'll see. What was the thing at the end? Was that like a hologram of herself?
I don't know what was going on there.
I wasn't sure what that was. I couldn't tell if it was her or somebody. It has happened really fast. I didn't get a good look at the person's face because I just watched it right before we started recording. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've never read Ironheart comics, so maybe if someone's a big Ironheart comic book fan, they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're doing the hologram thing." But I'm like,
I do own 12 issues of Ironheart.
You should read those.
2018 run. I read the first one.
You should read those. You should read all of them before June 24th, so you can act like a know-it-all nerd about like, well, they didn't do it like that in the comics that I just read yesterday. Yeah,
but I've obviously read since they came out in 2018.
I'm an expert on Ironheart. Excuse me. This is all wrong. All right. Should we? Those are the two small stories that we just added from today. But whoa, me oh my, oh pumpkin pie.
I was gonna say we haven't. What?
I just said that. I don't know. I'm really excited about the next story
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because I just finished reading the Black Canary Best of the Best series, and a lot of that series is told by announcers because a lot of that series is Black Canary and Lady Shiva fighting in like a ring, like a wrestling ring, and each issue is a round of their fight, 6 rounds. And so the announcers, the commentators, do a lot of back and forth, classic cheesy commentary jokes, and one of them keeps saying something like, "Oh my, oh apple pie," or something like that. "Me, oh my, oh apple pie." He says it like in every issue. So I changed it slightly to pumpkin, put my own little
there you go
Halloween spin on it. Classic me. Anyway, oh me, oh my, oh pumpkin pie, oh. Am I excited about this story? Because in a couple years, we're all going to go see a little movie called Star Wars Starfighter. It's a movie that is being directed by Sean Levy, starring Ryan Gosling. And until now, that's all we knew about it. Right. We didn't know anything else about it. We didn't know one other person that was going to be in it. We knew that they were going after Mikey Madsen after her Oscar win for Anora, but she turned it down because they weren't going to pay her enough money.
Well, when you're already paying Ryan Gosling, you've only got so much budget.
Yeah. But what I'm really excited about is that they have found somebody else to take that role, and that somebody is star of X, Pearl, the upcoming Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, Mia Goth. Mia Goth is joining Star Wars Starfighter. This is a woman who I think is one of the greatest actresses I've ever seen, ever. I know she's not like the biggest name ever, but if you've seen X, Pearl, Maxine, she's in one scene of the trailer for Frankenstein, so I can't vouch for that. She's an incredible actor. Incredible actor. She is officially joining the cast of Star Wars Starfighter in a villainous role. A villainous role. And this was reported, I read this on the HollywoodReporter.com. And there was also a little bit of plot in this
Really?
synopsis. A tiny bit of plot was just that. Ryan Gosling's character is trying to protect. Okay, I read 2 articles. One article said he's trying to protect his young nephew. And the other one is just he's trying to protect a young charge, meaning like he's in charge of this person.
Lone Wolf.
So I don't know. The nephew thing may not be real or whatever. Maybe it is. I don't know. But Ryan Gosling is trying to protect a young person from quote unquote pursuers. And Mia Goth will be one of those pursuers. Why are they pursuing this kid? I don't know. Why does he need protection? I don't know, besides that he's a kid. But we'll find out May 28th, 2027, which is right around the 50th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So there's going to be a big push. There's going to be a lot of Star Wars buzz in the air when this movie comes out to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Star Wars as a thing. So we got a good guy, we got a villain, and we got the tiniest little sliver of plot from Star Wars Starfighter, and I'm very excited about it. Steve, what were you about to say?
Do we know where in the timeline this sits?
I believe that Kathleen Kennedy, who we're about to talk about, says that this takes place after. This is after Rise of Skywalker. I don't know. I think she said a few years after Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if it's I don't think it's way in the future. I think it's like, I think my initial thought is that I remember it being 5-ish years after Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it is the furthest in the timeline that we've seen so far. So when I read the sliver of plot about he's got to protect this person, my brain invented a story around that. Classic Star Wars fan, right? 100%. Well, it must mean that this kid is Force sensitive.
Yeah.
And he needs to protect the kid from villains who want to exploit the Force sensitivity of this kid. And at the end of the movie, he's going to bring the kid to Rey. And that will be Rey's first student as a new Jedi Academy or whatever. That's just in my brain. That's what that came out of my brain in 10 seconds after I read that line. I could be totally wrong about that. Yeah. I kind of hope I am totally wrong about that, because if I'm calling it now and then 2 years from now I see the movie and I'm like, oh, that's the thing that I thought of. Great. I'm not excited. No, I'm just kidding. I'll be a little excited.
My thoughts on The Mandalorian in general. But I don't know. This is the first project I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't know. I still can't get over what they did with The Mandalorian, when you have the high of the end of season 2 and then whatever the hell happened after that.
Yeah.
Like with threads of good story in there smattered with a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And it gives me no hope going into Mandalorian.
I don't know, man. I just think Mando and Grogu is going to be great. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be slick.
Maybe I'm
and
trying to keep
and good.
Maybe I'm trying to keep my expectations low.
I mean, I think that's smart.
Yeah.
I think that's smart. I am just somebody who is really bad at keeping their expectations down about things that I love. Specifically Star Wars. It's really hard for me to not be out of my mind excited. But I do understand. But one of your gripes, continual gripes with Mandalorian and Grogu, is that the title is a dumb title. And I agree with you that it's a dumb title. I also agree that I also understand why they're calling it Mandalorian and Grogu because that's like that
Oh,
grabs the casual Star Wars fan. That's like,
it,
oh, I've seen that show. I'm gonna go see that movie. They made a movie out of that. I'm gonna go see it. Like they can't call it
yeah,
like Star Wars Battle for uh Takodana or whatever,
right.
some random thing. Because then you and I will be like, ooh, exciting title. But
Right.
like the rando that watched season 1 of Mandalorian will be like, well, I'm not gonna go see that.
So
Like, oh, it's
wait,
Mandalorian. I like those
are they
characters.
calling it Mandalorian and Grogu because that's when they were supposed to be reunited?
I think they were supposed to. Probably. Yeah.
Like tail end of season 3 going into the movie?
But I do have to say, I agree with you that it's not the best title in the world. I've made peace with it. They're not going to change it.
I think
That's
I've
just what
gotten
it's gonna
past
be.
the title at this point.
Star Wars Starfighter kind of just sounds like a video game.
It literally
Title. It
was a
doesn't
video game in 2001
exactly
on the
right.
PlayStation.
Right. Okay. So I like Star Wars Starfighter. I like it as a title. I
Yep.
don't love it as a title, and I kind of wish that it was a little more interesting than just something that sounds like a 90s video game because it was a 90s video game.
Well, I mean, Star Wars Rogue Squadron was also a 90s video game.
That's true. I don't know.
I get what
I'm
you're
just
saying.
saying
The generic, like Rogue Squadron,
it's generic. It's a
at least
generic
puts
thing.
you in a place. It ties you. It anchors you to something in Star Wars.
Yeah, Starfighter is
Whereas-
even more generic than just Rogue Squad. Rogue Squadron is like a specific
Right.
squad of starfighters. Starfighter is like a step back to like
Right.
just generic name for what we call ships.
I'm looking at 3 of them right here. Like
Yeah, sure.
all
exactly.
different. Could be anything.
Right.
Could even be a
All
boat.
technically starfighters. Yep. Anyway, very excited for that movie. And just for the future of Star Wars in general. And one of those things that's going to happen in the future of Star Wars is eventually a change in leadership of Lucasfilm. And it was reported this week from the Hollywood Reporter that apparently Lucasfilm has found a successor or successors for Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy, a person who the internet has very normal opinions about.
Richard included.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy, I think we're all right to hate Kathleen Kennedy because she's just really bad at her job. She's destroyed so many movies. She's just clearly a bad producer.
Do we clip this just for the clicks, Mike?
Look at her track. Yeah. Clip this out. She's a terrible producer, as evidenced by her track record. Producing such films as the Back to the Future trilogy, Gremlins, Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, E.T., Twister, The Sixth Sense, War of the Worlds, Cape Fear, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, An American Tale, The Goonies, AI, Artificial Intelligence, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, The Mandalorian, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Skeleton Crew, Andor, and many more. Of course we hate Kathleen Kennedy.
I think the thing that people fall into and the fallacy people fall into is things can be 2 things. You can want Kathleen Kennedy to move on and not be in the position she is with Star Wars without hating Kathleen Kennedy, because most modern filmmaking would not be where it is without Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, I mean, we've said it a lot of times. Things can be 2 things.
Things can be 2 things.
You can really not want Kathleen Kennedy to lead Star Wars, but don't poo-poo on Kathleen Kennedy because
it's like
she brought you your childhood.
Yeah, she brought you your childhood. And also, like, sorry, just because you don't like The Last Jedi, I'm not talking to anybody specific. I know Richardson maybe in the chat. I know he doesn't like The Last Jedi. It's going to sound like I'm talking to him. It's not. I'm talking to a whole group of people that happen to share your opinion, Richard. I love you, buddy. But like, just because you don't like The Last Jedi, like, it's not. You know how many people it takes to make a movie? Like, literally 1,000 people it takes to make a movie. Like, and yeah, she's like the producer, but so many people saw that movie and loved it. You know what? Including me. Or like whatever bad movie. It's not just you can't just place the blame on one person. You can't. Because like I don't hear, speaking of movies that haven't been hitting, at the way people want them to be hitting, no one is calling for Kevin Feige to leave Marvel.
Right.
You know what I mean? And way more misses than hits lately in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You
way
mean
more.
like half a decade of them at this point?
Yeah, easily. And I don't hear people saying Kevin Feige needs to step down. Kevin Feige needs to step down. Kevin Feige needs to step down. So why is it Kathleen Kennedy's fault, but it's not Kevin Feige's fault? Ask yourself that. Internet. Anyway. THR has reported in an article, it's not even an article about this, it's an article about succession in Hollywood in general called Inside Hollywood's Succession War. It mentions that Kennedy may be stepping down shortly after Bob Iger retires for the second time, which I think is supposed to happen later this year or next year. I'm not really sure.
Something like that.
Although it will ultimately be up to her. As we have read an interview with her before where she said a super badass quote, "I will die making movies." She's never going to retire. So it's up to her when she's going to step down. But I can certainly see her wanting to maybe lessen her workload a little bit and do other things other than Star Wars movies for, since she's basically only doing Star Wars movies since 2015 or whatever.
Right.
So the quote from the article is as follows. Despite speculation about outside candidates, including former 20th Century head Emma Watts, insiders say the company, meaning Lucasfilm, seems most likely to promote from within. The current thinking is a scenario where Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni and production head Carrie Beck, both Lucasfilm vets, will take co-head roles. Even as an arm of Disney, Lucasfilm remains in many ways a family business, and as a George Lucas protege, Filoni long has been considered a golden boy. But the knock against him is that he might be too steeped in Star Wars lore and risks steering a show into dense mythology that loses a broader audience. Quote, "He's not the Andor guy, he's the Ahsoka guy," end quote, says one Disney insider. Beck, who joined the company in 2012, knows the ins and outs, but neither she nor Filoni has as much film experience, which could be mitigated by Kennedy's continued presence as a producer on certain Star Wars projects, ensuring quality control in the short term. So, very good point. That I do think that Dave Filoni sometimes gets too bogged down in lore. And, it could just be because of the projects he's mostly associated with, but is a big fan of the characters that he has worked on in the past. And he may need a helping hand to help him see a broader and a path forward, a path maybe away from characters like Ahsoka. Not that I don't love Ahsoka, of course I do, but I don't need to see Ahsoka pop up in every Star Wars project from now to the end of time.
Hot take. Ahsoka should have died on Malachor.
Oh, whoa. That is a hot take. The hottest of hot takes.
It is. And not because I don't love the stuff we got, but from a story standpoint, for one, my thoughts on the World Between Worlds and not enjoying that aspect of her being saved magically.
Sure.
Like, Vader strikes her down. That cements Vader as Vader. Yeah. And also, sends him down a complete path of he just murdered his Padawan.
Yeah. Total dark side.
Right. And, Ahsoka gets the ending saving Ezra and Kanan, pushing them to further where they're going. Like, it's a perfect pivot point to move away from Ahsoka.
Sure.
And it just seems like she's everywhere and omnipotent. And where the hell was she during where was she during the rebellion? If this is how great
question. Yeah, great question. And I don't mind the amount of Ahsoka we've gotten so far. I'm looking forward to Ahsoka season 2, even though when I was doing all those Star Wars rewatches, Ahsoka was the one that dipped the most for me. I didn't even get through it. I haven't gone back to it. I started trying to watch it and I was like, it's fine. It's okay. Not really doing it for me. But I don't need to see the entire life of any character. Like, I don't need to see Ahsoka die. Ahsoka can just have like a good finale someday where she walks into the sunset and we never
Right.
see her again. Like, that'd be great. I don't need to see all these characters live so long and then eventually get to see them die. It's happened probably too many times in Star Wars. But even with this other woman, Carrie Beck, less film experience than Kathleen Kennedy. So, as this article in the last sentence here points out, Kennedy will still be involved. She's going to be involved in any Star Wars project that is currently in the works. Like any Star Wars project that we have heard about, that has been announced or even rumored, if that ends up going, her name's going to be on it. She's going to be a producer on the Simon Kinberg trilogy.
Yep.
She's going to be a producer if Rogue Squadron ever goes. She'll be a producer on that. She's going to be a producer on Starfighter. She's going to be a producer on the Charmin Obaid Chinoy Rey movie. She's going to be a producer on the James Mangold Origins of the Force movie. She'll be a producer on the Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie. She'll be a producer on the Taika Waititi thing. Like, all these things are things that she started. So even if she steps down from Lucasfilm tomorrow, she's going to be working on these movies.
Right. She's
for
just not gonna
years.
be the president of Lucasfilm.
Yeah. She's going to be a producer, but she's not going to be executive producer and CEO or president of Lucasfilm anymore. But she's still going to be working on them. So
Right.
I don't know, I'm sure when this headline hits the internet, so many people are going to be rejoicing, like, oh, finally, she's going to be done with Star Wars. Guess what? No. She's going to be in.
Right.
Her name's going to be on every Star Wars thing for like another probably 8 years, 8 to 10 years, probably,
Crazy.
Anyway. I have no problem with Kathleen Kennedy, and she can retire if she wants. She can stay on if she wants. I don't care. I think she knows what she's doing, more or less. Is she perfect? No. Has she made mistakes? Yes. But come on. Back to the Future. Back to the Come on.
I still got to show that to my kid.
Dude, you do have to show that to your kid. It is a great experience. Great. Well, I don't know. The first time I showed it to my son, he was like, it was okay. And the second time he saw it, he thought it was the greatest movie he'd ever seen in his life. I'm like, yeah, that's right, kid. That's right.
You know what got my hopes up to be the greatest thing I've seen in a while?
What's that?
A trailer I watched.
Oh, for a television show?
For a television show created by Noah Hawley.
Yeah. So, okay, for the next two stories, we're kind of veering out of our normal nerd sphere
into a different nerd sphere.
To a slightly different nerd sphere, a little more horror tinged nerd sphere. And it's something that we talk about, we mention because it's of interest.
There's a lot of Venn diagram overlap there.
Big time. And big time interest for this guy right here talking to you, who I'm pointing at right now. This guy. I was so happy this week that we finally got the official trailer for the upcoming FX and Hulu series Alien Earth, created by, as Steve mentioned, Noah Hawley, who created Legion and Fargo, 2 shows, one of which I've seen, one of which I haven't seen, but I hear nothing but great things about Fargo.
Yeah.
Apparently it's great.
And also, in not to the extent of Legion, but also a bit of a mind screw.
Yeah.
Like, Noah Hawley, if you want psychological, Noah Hawley's your guy.
Yeah. Which is why I'm very excited that he's doing an Alien series that takes place on Earth in the future.
It's right
only
in the
like
name.
it's like 5 or 10 years before the first Alien movie I read. So it's not far. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out because nobody on Earth seemingly has ever seen one of these xenomorph things before.
Right.
Doesn't know what they are. So who knows? But this trailer, man, this trailer looked like a movie. This trailer looked incredible.
That was first thing on my list of things to say was, holy hell, the way this is filmed, the way this is like portrayed, the way it's cut, it's so
cinematic.
Yeah. Like
so cinematic.
Very produced, very like, and not in a bad way, like clean, polished, but gritty. Like it felt right. Like,
you could have told me this was a trailer for the sequel to Alien Romulus, and I would have
100% thought you
100% believe you.
Yep.
Even like I was watching it, my wife was in the room, she doesn't care about this, but I was like, I'm just gonna watch a trailer real quick. And she's like, is this a new movie? And I was like, no, it's a fucking TV show. Isn't this great?
It's crazy.
So they're sending synthetics, which has been existing in the Alien franchise for a long time.
Do we, in the trailer, do we effectively see the scene where they, like, that's the trial, the first trials for synths?
Yeah. Do we? I don't think I've seen every Alien movie multiple times. I don't think it has been established that they transfer consciousness from a human being into a synthetic in order to make the synthetic work.
So
does that happen for everybody?
It's not an AI thing. It's like they're not creating a, they're not creating a personality. They're importing a personality
into a synthetic being.
Yeah.
Is that how they do everybody?
I don't know.
Is that every synthetic, or is that just a special case? I don't know, but it's a very cool idea. And it's also a cool idea to send a team of synthetics, maybe, is what the trailer says, to investigate this crashed ship. This ship crashes right into a city, which is cool. And it's a ship that has like multiple alien life forms on it. So we may even see
5 different
aliens
species from the darkest corners of the galaxy.
Darkest corners of the galaxy. Yeah. So we may see monsters that are not xenomorphs.
Right.
They didn't really show much. They showed we did see it like a facehugger egg.
Yeah.
We also saw other weird pods and stuff and other like tentacle things that didn't look like facehuggers, they didn't really show anything too much. We got some shots of facehuggers and quick shots of xenomorphs towards the end.
I was going to say quick shots. The only shot that got me was there was a facehugger that came down from the ceiling basically.
Yeah.
And that, like, watching the trailer, I'm like, something's gonna happen. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
got me on that one.
Yeah. So I loved this trailer because it made me ask all these questions about what are we gonna see and like how is this gonna affect the lore and the story of the Alien franchise. And I'm very excited about it. It comes out in August, I think it said at the end of the trailer.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember. I don't remember the date. I should have looked at the date, but I didn't. Aren't I smart? Aren't I a good podcaster?
I wonder.
Not preparing at all.
Yeah.
August 12th. August 12th. Did you notice the guy from Andor was in it too? One of the Andor season 1, the young kid with the journal that gets crushed during the escape from Aldhani. Yeah.
Alex Lothar?
Sure.
Just happened to pull that up right then. So,
wow,
right
great.
on top of things.
Nice. So yeah, Alien Earth, August 12th. Can't wait. Cannot wait. And speaking of this general section of the nerdosphere,
right.
Steve and I saw a movie. We watched a movie that you can watch right now in your own home.
You can.
If you are a subscriber to Hulu or Disney Plus with Hulu. You can watch a movie called Predator, Killer of Killers. And let me tell you something. If you like Predator movies, you need to stop listening to this podcast.
Right.
And watch this movie immediately.
Oh, God. It was so
Both
good.
Steve and I are laughing and smiling huge right now because this movie was exceptional. It was so good.
You talk about
you
talk about going in with zero expectations and having the script completely flipped. I was like, going into it, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be a cool Predator movie that's animated and whatever. Like, we're here, we're doing things. We're going to see some Yautja and call it a day. Lo and behold, what we got was layers upon layers of human character building and also like learning more about Yautja Prime and the culture of the Predators. And it's way deeper and way more than I expected.
This is a crazy sentence that I'm about to say.
Yep.
But it is accurate. And if you're listening to this and you haven't seen Killer of Killers, maybe you don't understand what I mean. Maybe you do. This is Predator Killer of Killers is the Into the Spider-Verse of Predator movie.
Yes,
It is.
it is.
Right?
It really is.
Because the animation is great. It deepens the lore. It deepens the universe. And it does things with familiar characters that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
In a franchise that has a bunch of movies, it delivers on what you expect from Predators. And it also widens the general like story and like what is possible from a Predator movie. And that's all stuff that Into the Spider-Verse did with Spider-Man, I think, at the same time. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse makes me cry. This movie did not make me cry.
No, but this made me slack-jawed in amazement at numerous things.
It did make me need to remind myself to watch myself because it's the first movie in a long time that I thought was going to make me wake up my sleeping wife and kid because every once in a while something would happen. I'd go, oh,
yep,
whoa, and then be like, oh man, my kid's asleep. Don't yell that loud.
Yeah.
I can't. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Like, we're probably gonna.
We need to have like a little 5-minute section at the end to actually talk about it too.
Well, do you want to do a thing now where we take like a couple minutes and we just tell people to skip forward if they don't want to? Because we're already talking about
comics left. So
what's that?
Oh, we got comics left, so we don't have any one shots or anything.
Okay.
We could buzz through that and then hit it.
Okay. Well, this is our non-spoiler review.
Yeah.
And it's great. This is like it is an R-rated,
very
animated
R-rated. Yep.
movie. It like you can't make a Predator movie that is less than
Invincible,
R-rated.
Levels of like
sure, yeah,
not quite to that extent, but in that vein of like there's nothing off limits.
But also cooler animation, I think, than Invincible.
So for anyone who has seen Arcane on Netflix, the animation style is very similar to that, and it definitely it grew on me with Arcane, and I really, really enjoyed it during this.
I thought the animation was kind of a cross between Spider-Verse and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Yep. Okay, I can see that.
Kind of like between those two.
Yep.
It's not as like bombastic as Spider-Verse stuff, but it is very cool and has characters moving in ways that reminded me of Spider-Verse. We see multiple versions of Predators. Not a spoiler. We see multiple characters fighting them. It's just really cool. I'm trying to think of other non-spoilery things to say about it for people that haven't seen it. But I mean,
let's put it this way, folks. The first 15 minutes of the movie are utterly amazing, and you do not see a predator.
When I texted Steve that I was I'm stuttering. Within the first 10 minutes of seeing this movie, I said, I'm watching Predator Killer of Killers right now. It is metal as fuck. It's awesome, and I haven't even seen a Predator yet.
Yeah.
And that made Steve start watching it and agree with me.
And it's 100%.
100%. It's very parts of it. Actually, a few parts. There are different segments in the movie. I guess there's different like parts of the movie. I won't go into more than that. But if you were a fan of the style of movie that Prey is, where it's like here's a predator in a different time period, you will love this movie.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say without spoiling it. And any other non-spoiler thoughts before we do comics, and then we'll talk a couple spoilers before the end of the podcast.
No, I think we'll hold it for that.
I can't say we'll even probably spoil too much, but we'll just we'll just talk more openly about it.
Yeah, we can talk a little more freely about it. So
yeah, at the end. So if you're not sold by Steve and I's absolutely giddy response to Predator Killers,
giggling about a Predator movie,
yeah, insane that it like. Yeah. Here's the thing: it came out Friday. I was gonna watch it Friday. I planned on watching it Friday, and then I had to get up early for something on Saturday. So I was like, I don't know if I want to watch the whole movie. So what I did watch on Friday night was just the last 20 minutes of Predator, the first one. So I was like really in the mood because
Yep.
Predator is a great movie. The whole movie's great, but those last 20 minutes when it's just Arnold and the Predator, it's just
Yeah.
down to the two of them. Great. Once he figures out that he can't see him through the mud, I love it's so good. And I was like, I could just watch this. And it pumped me up. I was like fucking ready
Yeah.
for Killer of Killers. I was really in the mood for it. Yeah. So and I'm not even like, I don't know, like watching I've seen the original Predator, I've seen a bunch of times in my life. And I think it's about time I recognize that I really love that movie. And it's
Yeah.
like I don't necessarily like associate the Predator franchise as being something that's like in my heart, but that first Predator movie is so good. It's like it's such a great movie. Great action movie. And Prey is really great. Like, but I would put this like
Prey brought it back for me. Like,
for sure.
I had forgotten Predator, effectively.
Yeah.
Like, watch the AVP movies because they were campy as hell, and
Right.
it was what it was. You knew what you were getting going in. You got what you knew what you were getting.
Yeah. It's like the dilution of the franchise as it went
Right.
along made you forget how good the first one is.
Yep.
Like Predator is a great movie, but like none of the sequels really lived up to how good the first one is. Like so many franchise, like
Right.
Jurassic Park, like we
Jurassic
were
Park,
talking about, earlier. But then yeah, like you're saying, Prey brought it right back.
Yep. And this is 100% in that vein, and it also makes me, because this was Trachtenberg, also makes me pump for Badlands.
Oh yeah, same director as Badlands. It comes out later this year, right?
Yeah.
Can't wait.
So currently he's 2 for 2 with Prey and Killer of Killers.
And Killer of Killers. Yep.
So let's see if we can, hit for the cycle here.
Like Killer of Killer, it's easily in my top 3. Like I don't know if I like this more than Predator or Prey, but it's at least the third greatest Predator movie, if not maybe the second. I don't know. It's so good.
It and it's funny because the title wasn't referencing what I expected it to reference.
Okay.
So
maybe
the movie in general, I don't think went where I thought it was going to, but this was way better than whatever I thought it was going to be. So yeah.
And that's always good. Well, cool. Well, we'll talk a little bit of spoilers after we do some comic stuff here. Steve, do you have a comic to review this week?
I don't, but I actually read a lot of books this week.
Oh yeah, what'd you read?
Caught all up on the absolutes, like all of the absolutes, and also read Supergirl #1, the new line.
I read that as well.
Was that
What'd
your
you think of
book to review, or just you read it?
No, I got it a week or two ago.
Oh, I saw the Artgerm cover and I was like, it's a Supergirl #1. Sure, let's go. I don't know what I was expecting going in because the only thing I'd ever read was Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
but like it's
very different than Woman of Tomorrow.
100%. Very different feel, very different. Like her homecoming, just in general, it starts off with like it couldn't be more diametrically opposed to the beginning of Woman of Tomorrow. With starting out very hopeful with this and then getting dashed, but it was a fun read for #1. Like I definitely wasn't anything that was like an A+ on depth or whatever, but it was it was fine. It was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought it was an intriguing kind of cliffhanger or surprise at the end, because it's definitely a situation where you're like, what is happening? How is what is she getting into? It like if I was a big Supergirl fan, I mean, I love Supergirl, but like I don't read Supergirl that often. Like I would definitely be into this series. It didn't grab me enough to like continue reading it. Like I said, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I thought it was good.
Yeah. You were right on Absolute Flash, by the way.
Sorry, my phone started talking to me.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was if we were hitting the Wayback Machine to when your phone used to just set random alarms for the entirety of recording, but
no, apparently something I said sounded like I was asking SIRI question.
Fair enough.
I was right on Absolute Flash.
Absolute
Yeah,
Flash was that's
isn't that great?
it's absolute gas. Like
It's so good. Yeah, I love it.
just the way they're characterizing it and how the act like how he gains his powers. It seems.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, it's
and is not in control of them in any way,
no, not at all.
not even close.
Which
Yeah.
is weirdly similar to Absolute Martian Manhunter.
I am not caught up on Martian Manhunter. I know you texted me and saying it was like a trip, but
Yeah.
I have not. I'm not caught. As much as I love the first issue, I have 2 and 3, and I haven't read them yet. So I need to do that. I'll
I
do it
hadn't
this week.
until today.
Yeah.
And I was sitting on a lunch hour, and I had like 10 minutes left. I'm like, I'm gonna start that, and then finished it.
Yeah.
It's funny how that happens.
Yep.
But the very similar in that, you know, the powers are very foreign and not familiar, and it's not something that, you know, has been ongoing since time.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, Green Lantern seems also a very strange situation.
Oh yeah, I only read the first issue of Green Lantern. I thought it was good.
Yeah. I mean, all three of them.
Man, you're reading all of the DC Absolute books.
Yeah, without thinking about it, yeah, I am.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
amazing. Congratulations, Steve. And congratulations to DC for putting out 6
Good
amazing
stuff,
books that
yeah.
are pulling in Marvel people. Yeah.
Right. Like I think
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty much down to my pulls are the Absolute books and Ultimate Spider-Man.
Wow. Wow. Now, what's
Oh,
going to
and
be
Batgirl,
interesting,
because
and Batgirl. Sure.
wow,
What's
I
going to be
have way more
interesting
DC
is
pulls than-
the
That's about it.
eventual, like, how long do you think? I mean, this goes for Marvel with the Ultimate Universe
same
and
kinda
DC
deal.
with the Absolute Universe. How long are they going to let these, like, here's our main universe, here's our Absolute Universe? How long are they going to let them run in parallel to each other before there's some crazy crossover where they're like, okay, everyone likes this about Absolute Batman. Everyone, let's pull this into our main universe from Absolute Flash, or you know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
gonna like, let's kind of meld these together so we don't have to have 2 separate universes running concurrently. It'll be interesting to see if they just like, here's the end of the Absolute Universe, or here's the end of the Ultimate Universe, or if they do some Crisis on Infinite Earths thing and like meld them.
Right.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably be either that or they just unceremoniously, fun word, just cut them off. Like,
Yeah,
comics.
but I can't imagine them doing that because they're
yeah,
making so much money.
both of them are pretty heavily invested. Although I don't know how any of the Marvel Ultimate titles besides Spider-Man are going.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
I mean, Black Panther was good when I was keeping it. X-Men I actually enjoyed, but again, there's just so much crap out there right now.
Yeah. Too much.
Like, I can only have so many books on my pull list.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like Ultimate X-Men got a lot more hate than I expected it to, but I get it because it's very different.
I haven't heard really anything about Ultimate X-Men. I've heard things about Ultimate Wolverine and
Yeah.
Black Panther and Spider-Man, but I haven't heard anything about really. My guess, if I had to guess, is that would be because they're so successful, especially the Ultimate 2, but definitely Absolute, because they're so successful, they will keep them going until they eventually will like switch creative teams and they will become less popular, and then they will be canceled once their sales start dipping.
Yeah.
You know, once what's his name? Once Snyder's not writing Absolute Batman anymore or whatever, it'll dip in sales. But anyway, I caught up on Black Canary Best of the Best. That was what I read this week, and I thought it was great. Classic kind of Tom King storytelling, and Black Canary is one of my favorite characters, so really loved it. A lot of brutal fighting, a lot of brutal action between her and Lady Shiva, some cameos from other great DC characters. But speaking of other great characters, These are some books you may find in your local comic book store this week. Absolute Batman number 9, Action Comics 1087, Aquaman number 6, Batman and Robin number 22, Conan the Barbarian number 21, DC versus Vampires World War V number 10, Deadpool Wolverine number 6, Death of the Silver Surfer number 1, Exceptional X-Men number 10, Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over number 4, Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man number 1, Giant Size Dark Phoenix Saga number 1. What?
Huh.
Green Lantern Corps number 5, Huge Detective number 5, Magic number 6, Marvel United A Pride Special number 1. It's the Marvel Pride anthology issue. New Avengers number 1, One World Under Doom number 5, Robin and Batman Jason Todd number 1, Runaways number 1, a new launch of Marvel's Runaways. Something is Killing the Children number 42, Spider-Girl number 1, Star Wars number 2, Supergirl number 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 9, The Umbrella Academy, Plan B number 1, Transformers number something. I was not paying attention when I wrote this down. Didn't write the number down. Daughter of Wonder Woman number 1, Ultimate Black Panther number 17, Ultimate X-Men number 16, and World Tree number 15. So I gotta say, I may be picking up. I'm interested to see what Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man is. I'm interested to see what Giant Size Dark Phoenix Saga is.
So
Steve, you may have some answers.
Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man. I will give you the authors on this.
Okay.
Chip Zdarsky, Al Ewing,
Okay.
and Kevin Smith.
Whoa.
So I'm definitely getting this.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Kevin Coley, Mark Buckingham. Like,
damn.
There's some names on this book.
Do you know what Giant Size Dark Phoenix Saga is?
No.
Because that's not a character, that's a storyline. How can there be a giant size for a storyline that has been told 1,000 times in different media?
So
Very
apparently,
strange.
Marvel is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Giant Size X-Men.
Oh, okay.
1 this May with a series of giant size one-shots revisiting key mutant milestones.
That makes sense, since we did get another giant size X-Men last week, right?
Much more sense on that.
A lot of sense. Okay. They're celebrating in general the release of the first giant size. So I am planning to pick up. What?
This is okay. So
Steve's very intrigued, to use a Steve word.
Kamala Khan apparently is. The story we know is destroyed in front of her eyes. The new mutant must team up with Jean Grey in her darkest hour, master her dangerous and new mutant power in this cosmic emotional saga. So they're all of this is Kamala Khan.
Interesting. She was in the giant size X-Men one.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a great character.
Oh, 100%. But like,
yeah. Not someone I associate with the Dark Phoenix saga. Necessarily.
Right. And her holding Phoenix like Scott on the cover.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Huh.
Interesting. I am definitely picking up Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Plan B #1. Definitely down for more Umbrella Academy. I love that series. I know Gerard Way is a busy guy, so he can't, when he is able to return to Umbrella Academy writing, it's a big deal. Also kind of looking at Robin and Batman, Jason Todd. I read the first miniseries of Robin and Batman when it was Dick Grayson. It's like a 3-issue mini. I read it digitally. I thought it was really good. It was really great. And kind of a showcase of Dick as Robin in a way that, from his perspective, working with Batman, I don't know, just a way that you haven't really seen before.
Right.
So doing one with Jason Todd, very interesting to me as well. So, so you're picking up Absolute Batman.
Yep.
Anything else you're getting? You might be getting that giant size Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely getting that. After I wasn't definitely getting that until I read that creative team.
Yeah.
And apparently, if it's 3 stories by those 3, sure, I'm in.
Heck yeah.
Death of Silver Surfer by Greg Pak.
Oh,
It's got an option. I might thumb through that a little and see. But yeah, that's probably it. Don't care about new
everyone's
Avengers. Don't really care about Spider-Girl.
every once in a while, I think I should start reading Silver Surfer, and I don't really know why.
I really
just
want to
like
go back to that, the Stegman and Kate's Silver Surfer Black.
Steve, me too. I consistently hear great things about that book, and I
So
I
when
almost
it
bought it
came
when
out-
it came out. I almost got it, and I didn't get it.
I didn't get it because I was talked out of it by the guy who was working at Jeff's shop.
What?
Yeah.
That guy that stole a bunch of money?
Yep.
And got fired?
So I was told, yeah, I don't know if the take's all that right. I'm like, okay, I won't do that. And then
I thought
lo
it
and
was really good.
behold, I've heard nothing but good things about that whole run.
Yeah.
Richard also recommends Silver Surfer Requiem.
Oh, okay. The other night, after my family had gone to sleep, I was doing something on my computer.
Yep.
Just like doing a little bit of like work, writing or whatever. And I was like, I want like something visual happening. So when I
Yeah.
look up, I can like see something. And I was like, I want it to be weird. Like I don't know what my brain was at, but it's like
Yeah.
I was like it was like a mood of something that I wanted to be on the TV. And so I was like looking around at different streaming services. I looked at Disney Plus and I was like, I looked at Marvel, and then I found the old Silver Surfer cartoon from like the early 90s when it's like somewhat terrible computer animation, some cell stuff. And I was like, I turned it on, but I muted I turned the television all the way down. I muted the TV, but just like had it playing.
Yep.
And every time I looked up, I was like, this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Like it was just exactly what my brain needed to be processing while I was like writing. Or I was like, I have no idea what's happening, but that looks crazy. Anyway, back to this. Yeah. It was
Right.
just like the perfect environment. So
Well, thank you, Nora.
Silver Surfer, always there for me when I need you, Norin Rad. So should we send some people away so we can talk for a couple minutes about Predator, Killer of Killers, and
yeah, then call it a day.
an open company? Call it a night. Yeah,
Night, day, whatever. It's 11 o'clock somewhere.
both. Right here, right now. It's 11 o'clock.
Watching the world. Never mind. They're right here, right now.
Oh, okay.
I
thought it was an 11 o'clock based joke.
Nope.
I got
not
you.
that smart.
I got you.
I just went for the cheesy 90s pop music reference.
Right here, right now.
That would be it. Anyway, if you enjoy weird 90s references and us talking about random nerd shit, you should continue to listen on your podcatcher of choice. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review. If you want to see our wonderful faces and my weird camera, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/The Multiverse Report. Sure. That's hopefully our URL.
I think it is.
And then other than that, I mean, check us out on socials, Instagram, and probably Blue Sky. I was looking at you for confirmation since you're the only one that does that.
Yes. And again, I haven't been super active on socials lately. Fun, Steve. This camera is hilarious because you leaned away
To try and
to
get out of
sneeze.
frame to sneeze.
and the camera just totally followed you. So I got a perfect vision of you sneezing your brains out.
This is great.
And then when you came back, it swung back to follow you back to the microphone. Great.
Well,
You guys are missing out. If you're not watching the YouTube video, you're missing out this tonight. I'm just saying. Steve's camera is crazy. I feel like I got to either upgrade mine or you got to fix yours. So
Oh, yeah. No, mine's probably getting downgraded again. I just wanted to try this thing out.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, we'll do those things that Steve said, like and share and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And this is your friendly neighborhood spoiler alert. We are about to start talking spoilers for Predator, Killer of Killers. Honestly, I don't know that we could say anything that would make you not enjoy the movie.
Right.
So, hell, feel free to listen.
Even
I don't
knowing
care. But if you
things are coming,
want to go in with nothing,
Yeah.
then stop and you know what? Forget what I just said. You should go in knowing nothing because it was a really kind of a great experience, not knowing anything what you're getting into. So what you should do is stop listening to this or watching this and go watch Predator Killer of Killers. So go do that instead. And now Steve and I are going to start talking about it in 3, 2, 1. Spoilers. Bam. So what I mentioned to you the other night when we talked about it real quick, is that it opens with the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this an entire Viking versus Predator movie? Because holy shit, that's amazing.
Right.
And I thought about the trailer. It's like, I know I saw other stuff in the trailer, so I don't know what's going on. So I'm trying, my brain is trying to piece things together. Badass Viking queen woman has a son. She's protective of the son, trying to teach the son how to be a badass Viking himself. So I'm like, oh, okay, she's going to die, and this kid will go on. It's going to flash 20 years in the future till he's an adult somewhere else. And that's the other stuff I saw in the trailer when it's, you know, a different country or different. Boy, not right about that at all. Not right about that at all. And yeah, that it was total what the fuck moment when she's holding her dying son and it fades to her with a collar on the ship. Like, what? Is there somebody else there? What is what is this? And then it jumps to something else where I'm like, wait, I want more of the Viking queen woman. What are you giving me now? This is not what I wanted. And then just you're forced to pay attention because there's no dialogue at all. And you get this amazing fucking cool samurai duel, brother versus brother thing. Awesome. But then you're like, okay, now this is good. This guy's going to be wearing a collar too. And it does it again with the Air Force World War II pilot. Man, what a clever idea.
The way they did the samurai brother versus the ninja was like so well done too.
So well done.
Even as someone who, it's funny because the more I see period pieces from that era of Japanese culture, like between this and like Shogun, of course, got me on the kick again. But like, you forget how amazing a story can be if it's portrayed well in that era.
Right. Sure. Respectfully. Yeah.
And this was done just amazingly.
Yeah. Again, with almost no dialogue.
Right. Yeah. You could literally have had no dialogue in both of those scenes. Mm-hmm. Like, you could have just not had the subtitles on at all. And you could have watched 40 minutes of the movie.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
And not understood a damn thing.
Yeah. And because like as much as it was jarring to all of a sudden be with new characters and you have to start learning a new story, because there's no dialogue, you really have to lock in. You know, it's not like you can't be on your phone because you're gonna miss visual storytelling.
Yeah.
So you really do have to pay attention, and because you're paying attention, it snaps you up, pulls you in real quick because it's really good visual storytelling. I guess the one thing I didn't love the third segment as much as the first two. I thought the third segment dipped a little bit for me.
Yeah.
The pilot.
Yeah, So I thought his actual section dipped a little bit, but it set him up well for
what they needed. They needed an English speaking character that could fly, that could be a pilot, you know. But like that third, there's 4 segments total. That third segment was probably my least favorite.
Yep.
But that's only because the first 2 were so good. First 2 were like 10 out of 10.
Very high. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you suddenly drop to like a 7 or an 8 for a third segment, it feels like a huge drop because you're just like, I've been getting fucking prime cut steak for 2 courses now. And all of a sudden I get a fucking McDonald's burger for a little bit. And now, you know, not a McDonald's burger even, but you know, a cheeseburger for a little bit. And then I go back up.
Yeah, like even phase 3 was like, it was like a quality street meat burger. Like, we're not talking
for sure. Yeah, it was like a good burger. Like, it was like a very gourmet cheeseburger. Yeah. And like, yes, like you're saying, like that character served a very important function in the last segment because he's the only English speaking character. So like we kind of have to have the audience. That's like the audience character. That's the
Right.
character that is telling the audience what's going to happen. I really loved a couple things. I loved that they don't explain, like, the Predators clearly have time travel technology.
It's-
That's got to be right.
So
Or they have like
what
frozen.
I was going to say, what I gathered is they have we saw it at the end, the frozen catalog
at
of
the end?
warriors.
Oh, of course. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. So so it's like not dissimilar to Alien, where they have like hyper sleep chambers.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
wake
yeah.
up in the beginning of
Yeah.
Alien. So it's, yeah, okay. That makes sense. So they can dethaw any 3 warriors at any time that they want.
Right. And we
And-
see as they're walking out, Naru, like, frozen in one of those stasis chambers.
Yeah, that's the woman from Prey.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
her name. Yeah. Great ending.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Great ending. It made me so excited for the possibility of seeing that character again. Because I was thinking, as soon as like Badlands was a different thing, we got the trailer for Badlands. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're never going to see a real sequel to Prey. We're never going to see that character again. But oh no, it's possible. So is this to say that? Okay, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. I love that they didn't feel the need in the movie to tell you how they were collecting these people. And it was this visual storytelling at the end. You find out that at the end they have all these people frozen up.
Yeah.
I also love that in that final segment, you had 3 main characters and none of them could communicate with each other. Like that was a really cool aspect of it, where like we understand this guy, and we understand everybody because we were reading the subtitles, but these characters only via actions understand where they all are and what they have to do. Like, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really
and
awesome.
you could tell they were kind of learning each other's styles as they were going along through the fight too.
Yeah.
Like they portrayed that well, of like, oh, I can't understand him, but I know this is what he's trying to tell me. But it wasn't like over the top leaps of faith. It was just like relatively obvious things, but they were finally clicking in a vein that would make them, work and be able to do what they did.
Right. Yeah, such a great movie. Such a great movie. So like everything that we said, like deepening of the lore, violent as hell. Like you could, like, with the animation, they're doing stuff that would cost so much money to do in live action. I loved the end of the Viking segment when they're fighting on ice. I was just like, this is like a predator fight in the snow. This is cool as hell. And that predator was enormous.
That
predator was huge
I think I said that
and
to you.
jacked.
Yeah.
And had like a cool like pulse cannon arm thing. I was like, we've never seen that, but some of the fun things about Predator is that I love that they, in the last couple Predator outings, I think they've really leaned into, well, let's make these Predators look a little different. They don't all have to look like the one from the first movie. So like the one in Prey has like a big skull kind of mask instead of like a metal one. And some of them have like big tusks and stuff.
Earning his mask.
Sure. Yes. But I do like the variation of designs of Predators that we've seen in recent years. Very cool.
All right.
And this one being huge and having a cannon for an arm. Like, we've never seen that before.
Right.
But we do know that they, in addition to having like tracking tactics and stuff, they also utilize a lot of technology in their hunting. So like, why couldn't they have a pulse cannon for an arm? Like, that makes total sense. Yeah. For sure.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Okay.
Tomato meter for this.
Ooh. Gotta be in the high 90s. I can't imagine that.
97%.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Insane.
Like I said, I don't know that I like it more than Predator Prey, but it's easily the 3rd best Predator movie.
Yeah.
And I would not argue with anybody that favorite or their 2nd favorite Predator movie. I'd be more shocked if people did not like this movie that liked other Predator movies. Like, if you've never seen a Predator movie and you watch this and you don't like it, I get it. But if you're like in on this franchise at any level, I can't imagine you're not liking this movie.
Did you ever see The Predator?
Is that the most recent
2018
one? I started watching it and I thought it sucked and I stopped watching it, but I think I should go back and finish it just so I can. I've heard that it's
Apparently
really bad.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But the cast, I
Yeah.
always love these like horrible movies with great casts.
Yeah.
Because you've got
Boyd
like,
Holbrook.
yeah, Keegan-Michael Key, Olivia Munn, Thomas Jane,
Yep.
Alfie Allen,
Yeah.
Sterling K. Brown, Trevante
I know.
Rhodes. Like, yeah.
I really,
it's insane.
I have to finish it just so I know whether or not it's better than Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Because Alien vs. Predator Requiem is really terrible. Really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
But I need to finish the Predator so I know for sure which is worse.
Oh, that's
so I don't know.
Tough one, my friend. That is.
I know. I gotta bite the bullet and get through it. That's all.
I mean, what was?
So are we to assume, based on the end scene from this movie, are we to assume that predators freeze everybody that they deem a worthy opponent and take them eventually?
So the way what I got from that is they quote unquote, save everybody who has killed one of the Oucha.
Who has earned their respect.
Like if you have like killed one of theirs, then you're worthy for them to fight against again.
Right. But they don't take you immediately.
Right.
Because we've never seen them take anybody in any of these movies, but they must go back for you at some point. So like, are we to assume that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny Glover are sitting in one of those frozen things somewhere? Could be. It would be a cool way to get Arnold Schwarzenegger to make a cameo in another Predator movie.
That would be.
It would be.
That'd be.
You know what I
really
just learned recently? Because after I watched this and the last 20 minutes of Predator, I listened to a podcast about Predator.
Yeah.
And they said that in the movie Predators, which you just learned about recently,
right?
Robert Rodriguez Predators with an amazing cast. Lawrence Fishburne is in that movie, and not to spoil it, but Predators is about these people are dropped onto an alien planet to be as like it's like a training ground for new predators.
Right.
So they are the prey, and the predators get dropped and have to hunt these people. And they discover that Lawrence Fishburne has been living there for years, and he like knows how to evade them or whatever, and he's there. Apparently, that role was originally written for Arnold Schwarzenegger, as he's like, I'm the guy from the original Predator movie. They took me, and I know how to kill them, so I'm hiding out here. But he couldn't do it for some reason. It might have been like right after he stepped down as governor. I don't know. But Lawrence Fishburne does something wildly different with it. But so approached to come back to the Predator franchise, and I know he's like very old now, and they would have to figure out a reason as to why he's so much older if he's been frozen the whole time. But I wouldn't say no to an Arnie cameo in a future Predator film. That'd be cool.
Come on, he's only 77.
He's only 77?
I mean, in rich people years, that's like 65.
And bodybuilding health freaks years. Who knows? Anyway, Predator Killer of Killers is a great movie. If you haven't figured out our opinion on it, it's pretty great.
Exactly.
So go watch it. You can watch it right now.
Richard says,
and that's all I have to say.
So
he's watching. He's still listening. We just spoiled the hell out of it, Richard. No,
I don't think so. I think he came back. He left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just happened to look over there.
Okay. Well, thanks for sticking around, Richard. But I think I'm done. I think that's all I got to say.
Well, there you go.
You got anything else?
No, I'm good here.
All right. Well, Richard, anyone else that's still watching and listening, thank you for hanging out. Do all the things that Steve told you to do. Rate, review, subscribe, all those things would really help us out. And until next time, as the two suns set over the burnt corpses of Owen and Baru Lars, we say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the multiverse.